was very well liked. He was optimistic and he was described as always smiling. However, during the summer of 1996, this changed dramatically. Blair began to suffer from anxiety and mood swings. He was getting almost no sleep because he was absolutely paranoid, and his mood swings overall were just becoming more frequent. Now, if you go from being an insanely happy and outgoing and just fun person to a person like this, then obviously people are going to notice, and this is what happened with Blair. His mother noticed. She questioned, like, hey, what's wrong, what's going on? And the only thing that he would say is, I don't think I should tell you about it. On July 5th, 1996, Blair had what I think a lot of people kind of are calling a psychotic break. He just kind of had a meltdown. He went to his bank and he withdrew all of his money, which was about $6,000. And he withdrew this money in 3 different currencies. He also removed thousands of dollars in jewelry, gold, and platinum from a safe deposit box that he had, and he bought a black fanny pack to keep all of this jewelry in. 2 days later, he went to the Canadian-United States border in an attempt to enter the United States. Officials at the border noticed that he had all of this cash and all of these valuables visible in his vehicle, and he was denied access. He then tried to get into the United States on foot and was also turned away at the border. After being denied 2 times, Blair quit his job and he bought an airline ticket for Germany, which was set to depart on next Tuesday. Immediately after he booked his flight, he went over to his friend's house, and this friend described Blair as being panic-stricken, and he was asking her to smuggle him into the United States. He said that someone was trying to kill him. She had a family, I believe that she had a child, and she told Blair that she could not help him. On Tuesday, Blair went to get his airplane ticket refunded instead of taking the flight to Germany. He decided to rent a car, and he once again tried to get into the United States. This time, he was granted access. He drove to the Seattle airport and he bought a ticket for the first flight out, which ended up taking him to Washington, D.C. On Wednesday, July 9th, he decided to rent a car. He rented a Toyota and he drove to Knoxville, Tennessee. So basically, I think that it's safe to assume that he was just kind of frantic during this time. Like, he was just moving around a lot. He wasn't making much sense. The places that he was going was all over the place. How do you go from, I'm going to go to Germany, to I'm going to go to Knoxville, Tennessee? When he got to Knoxville, he stopped at a gas station with car trouble. He asked the attendant to help him, and the attendant quickly realized that his issue was that he didn't have the right key to the car. So he drove in this vehicle to this gas station, and then he couldn't get it to start because he had a key for a Nissan vehicle, and he was driving a Toyota. I think that that is absolutely insane, and I wish was driving a Toyota with Nissan keys. Blair decided to have the vehicle towed to a local motel, the Fairfield Inn, until he could get another key or get some help from the rental car company, and he decided to hitchhike to that motel. When he got to the hotel, staff described him as being paranoid, nervous, and acting like he was expecting someone to come in on him. He was pacing around like he was expecting someone or waiting for someone, and he was just constantly looking behind him. I think that there is a video of this. I will link it below if I can find it. I know that I'm not going to be smart enough to figure out how to insert it into here and not get like copyright flagged, but I will link that video below. But you can tell that he's not in a good mindset. He's pacing around and just turning around and just looks uneasy. He entered and exited the lobby 5 times within an hour, and then he finally decided to book a room. He booked a room, and I believe that the articles and the videos that I've seen on this say that he paid for the room and he refused change from the hotel. I think that he was afraid that he would be tracked somehow, so he just gave them cash and he wouldn't take any change. At 7:37 p.m., he exited the hotel without ever even going up to the room. And this will become the last time that Blair was ever seen alive. The following morning, Blair's body was found in a parking lot about a half a mile from the hotel. His shirt was ripped open and his pants were removed. His socks were inside out, and there was about $4,000 around him in Canadian, American, and German currency, as well as his fanny pack full of gold and jewels. The weirdest part of this is that next to his body were the keys to the Toyota. Not the Nissan keys that he had, but the keys for the Toyota. His body was covered in cuts and bruises, and the cause of death was a hard blow to his abdomen, which ruptured his stomach. When his body was discovered and his family was notified, they were very confused as to why he was in Knoxville. They said that he had no business there, like Germany would have made more sense. He had some connections there, but they had no reason as to why he would have gone there. So that is all the information on the case, unfortunately, but I just want to go ahead and I'm going to call them theories, but I'm just going to put some ideas in your head of some discussion ideas. So basically, nobody thinks that this was a robbery because all of the cash and the jewels and jewelry was there, which I would agree with. If this was a robbery gone wrong, they would take the money. Now, there is a theory that maybe he was on drugs. I've read that at one point he may have had a problem with alcohol and was a recovering alcoholic, and maybe he did get involved with drugs and just got into some trouble with the wrong people, and he actually was in trouble, and those are the people who killed him. I have no evidence to back this up, but it is just a theory. Another theory is that maybe he was so paranoid he ran into some people in the parking lot and he just thought that they were the people who were following him and decided to attack them, and he ended up getting killed. Now, just getting into a fight with some random people, that doesn't explain the car key situation, nor does it explain why his pants and socks were the way that they were. If you're gonna get into a fight with somebody and beat them to death, is the word, but like, what are the chances that this man is saying that someone is gonna kill him and then he gets killed in something completely unrelated to what he was afraid of, you know? Some people have often mentioned suicide, which I don't think is the case. Like, maybe he took his clothes off, because I know that under the influence of some drugs like PCP, you get really hot and you may start to undress, but the detective said that his pants looked as though they were taken off the way that someone else would take them off of you. And I think that killing yourself with a blow to the stomach would be very, very difficult, but not impossible. So those are just some theories, some thoughts to play around with if you're interested in this case. Like I said, I'll try to find the hotel footage and link that below. Thank you guys so much for listening. I have a very special video coming up for you guys tomorrow that I'm excited for you to listen to. As always, the link to my Patreon and where you can find me on the Tingles app will be down below. These will help you to get access to some extra videos if you are interested. My Twitter, my email, all that good stuff is down in the description bar if you are interested in keeping up with me at all. Otherwise, I am so appreciative of your support, and